and welcome to the Scary Goals Club. I am your host, Hazel Robertson, and I believe that to make the impact that you know you are called to make in the world, it requires setting bigger, scarier goals and then becoming the person who creates them. That is what I am here to show you how to do. That's what we're diving into with mindset, tools, tricks, really simple, practical, actionable steps you can take and start applying straight away. Because whatever you believe, we have this one life that we definitely know about. Start making the impact you know you want to make in the world. Fear is not a reason to stop. We keep going. We work through the fear. That is what we do in the Scary Goals Club. So come on in, come join, hit subscribe, and let's get started. Testing, having a moment, having a breath. Hey. Right. Hello and welcome to the Scary Goals Club podcast. I thought I was ready to do this episode. And now that I'm standing up here and actually going to do it, I do not feel as ready. I've been doing lots of processing this morning and I don't feel as ready as I thought I did even a few minutes ago, now that I'm actually here. Well, do you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. If you're listening to this, then this has gone out into the world, but I'm going to record this and then I might never share it. And actually, the act of recording it might feel helpful for me. So that makes me feel a bit better. I'm like, I don't have to actually publish this, but if you are listening to it, then I have made the decision to publish it. So today's episode is I'm going to talk through something that's been happening over the last few months. And if you listen back, there was an episode I did just after New Year where there was something really hard that happened at New Year. And I want to talk about it today and I want to draw out lessons. It was essentially a quote unquote fail, a setback, having a goal, something that I was creating that just was no longer working in the way that I thought and was no longer going to happen in the time frame that I thought. So it was basically what I'm going to do is talk through that and draw out things that I have been doing that have helped me and how I've kind of moved through it and been able to keep showing up and keep doing things in other areas of my life, even when this big part of my life has felt really heavy, really hard, and things have not been going how I had hoped. And I also just want to say that, well, I'll end up talking about what this is now, but I just want to give a bit of a trigger warning for this episode that I am going to talk about miscarriage. And so if this feels like it's going to be triggering to you, please keep yourself safe. Please don't listen to this episode and take care of yourself. And I know for me, I had even a few months ago, I wouldn't have been able to listen to this. Maybe 6 months ago and earlier, just after I had Flynn, I wouldn't have been able to hear an episode or hear someone talking about it. It felt really triggering, really upsetting to me. So please, please, please take care of yourself. Close it down. Don't listen to it if it's going to feel triggering to you. However, and I'm not going to go into the real detail of it, but if even just talking about it feels triggering, please take care of yourself. Close it off now. Don't listen to it now. And if it does feel like something that feels okay, or maybe it doesn't resonate with you at all, maybe it's not something that you have been experienced or you know anyone that has, well, you probably do know someone that has. It's just that in the society, we don't talk about it that much. It's a very quiet, and it almost can be a bit of a shameful thing. And so I guess part of the reason of wanting to talk about it as well is I know that when I've opened up before about miscarriages that I've had in the past, before I had Flynn, before I had my son, people reached out and they were like, oh, wow, I didn't realize you were going through this, or this was really helpful, or me too. And it's we realize that there's so many things that we are all going through, or so many people we know are going through, and we keep them quiet and we don't talk about it and we pretend everything's okay and we get on with other areas of our life. And that is one of the most amazing things that women are able to do is almost compartmentalize, and they can be like succeeding and excelling at work and at different places in their lives. And then there's this like part that just feels really hard. I guess it's like with all of us that and I think with with miscarriage especially, or like when, especially as high achieving women who are I am used to like deciding I want something and going after it and making it happen and like creating it. And to decide that I want something and it not to happen is really hard. It's like it requires a lot of surrender, a lot of realizing like, yes, we can do all of the things and control as much as we can. And sorry, 2 seconds, I'm just writing something down. For today's episode, I was like, oh, I'll get onto that. We can, do all the things that we can. And then at the end of the day, there is a certain amount of biology and chance and nature and magic and things that either need to happen or don't seem to happen how we want it to, that we can't control. And of course, the things that we create in big scary goals, like there's a certain amount of that at play as well. But like when we're used to making a decision, creating something, making something happen, and like going after stuff and doing well in other areas of our life, to be hit with infertility and not, it's like, especially when we have this vision that we want for our lives, where if there's a kid in it, or like imagining having a baby or whatever that is, and it's not there, like that can feel really hard as well. So it's kind of like, I guess, like it's a goal, it's a scary goal. And I just want to talk through a little bit about like, well, what's happened, and also things that have helped me, like 4 things that have helped me navigate it, come back to myself, and be able to genuinely feel now in like a really good place. And yes, of course, there's still like days and moments where something will hit me and I'm like, oh, and it feels really hard, but like it just feels very different. And I know I had, like, having had miscarriages before, this feels a bit different because like I have my son, and like I know I can have a baby, like I know that's possible. So like, whereas before it was like, is this ever going to happen for me at all? Like I didn't know that yet. So I know that that's possible, but in some ways it's also hard because it's like I understand then even that like those early pregnancies, like what it can actually become, and it can grow into this like human that talks and like tells jokes to silly. And it's like that also feels hard because it's like those lines, the double line on a pregnancy test or whatever. It's like I now know what that can actually become. Like I have experienced that. And so it almost can feel like, whereas before I couldn't almost really imagine it. It's like you have other people's kids, but it's like you can't imagine what's like having your own. And then like when you do, it's like now those positive tests, suddenly it's like your brain goes to like, or my brain went to like, oh, this is what it could be. Anyway, so basically what had happened, I'll talk through a bit of the story and then talk you through some things that have helped me. So I had found out we had been, trying like a good chunk of last year to get pregnant, and it wasn't happening. And then in December, I found out I was pregnant, and it was still fairly early when it was like around Christmas time, but I was so tired. And it was one of those things where I was like, oh, let's just tell our parents. And so at Christmas, we were like very early, but, and it was like, cheersing. And then I was like chilling out. And yeah, and we had probably about like, again, it was like early stages, but we had maybe 10 days or something of like me knowing I was pregnant. I mean, I'd been feeling pregnant for about 2 weeks before that. I'd been so tired and I didn't really understand why. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. And so then had 10 days of knowing that I was pregnant and being really tired and like just adjusting to that. And then had started getting like some pains, went and saw the doctor, and then it was like walked out of the doctor's office, was like, oh, just nipped to the loo, or I'd had a bit of spotting, and then it got heavier, and then it was New Year's Eve, so it was almost like with the pregnancy, like last year had been pretty rough, getting burned out, was really depressed, like was just struggling with a lot of things. There was a lot of what felt like really heavy things going on. And so it was almost like, oh, here we go. Like, yes, not being able to get pregnant. And it was like, oh, here we go. This is like, what a way to round off 2024. Like, pregnant, baby's going to come in like early September. Like, this is so cool. And just like, oh, how amazing. And then, yeah, I came out of the doctor's office on New Year's Eve, and it was this like really surreal experience where like I was miscarrying and I knew that that was starting there, like I could feel it. And Flynn was there, like, and Maple as well, and we were like playing in the play park, and it was almost this like I was processing it in real time of like letting go. So I think the thing with all of this is that like how in that moment, like the future that you imagine in your mind, it like goes. And it's like, a few hours before when everything felt okay, or maybe like a day before everything felt okay, it's like the future is as you imagine, which just shows that like, often our brain can go to like the worst case or the best case. It's like we never actually know. We can imagine, but actually we don't know, and it can change. And just that like split second in a moment, like literally everything changes. And it's like, oh, okay, I know what's happening here. And just, yeah, going through and like processing like the grief and the sadness in that moment, but also just like I remember the sky was like really dark, and there was this like amazing intense double rainbow. It was like so bright, and then there was like another rainbow above it, and we were just like watching the rainbow, and I was climbing. There's this really cool like tree thing you can kind of climb. I was climbing that with Flynn, and it was just like it was just like such a human raw experience of like the intensity of the future just disappearing, like in that moment of how I had imagined it and how I thought it would go. And then also the beauty of like playing with my son and seeing this amazing rainbow in the sky. And it was just like, I think that's one of the beautiful things is like when we can just feel and be present with whatever the feelings are. Like, yes, we experience the sadness and the grief and the pain, but like we open ourselves up to all of the joy and all of the precious moments. And I think it's like when something like that happens, it's realizing that like life is such a gift. It's so precious. These moments are fleeting, and just it snaps you into the present moment of like, okay, wow, what is it I actually have? And like, how amazing are these moments now? And then I spent a good few days just like napping and journaling and like having space and just like processing it all. And then, then a month or so later, or whenever it was, I got pregnant again. And then, I don't know, a few days later, my period came. So that was like a chemical miscarriage. And so there was that piece as well of processing it again. And my body also going through being pregnant, like being tired, boobs being massive, like all of these things, being like, okay, wow, this has happened again. Like, we'll just be cautious, but like, here we go. And then it happening again. And then a month or so later, it happening again. Like having the positive, like faint positive line, because my period was like quite a few days late, like, oh, huh, okay, feeling pregnant, being pregnant, and then it going again, or like my period coming. So another chemical miscarriage. And yeah, so it's like in the last 3 months, well, up until like the end of March. So like a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago, is when I had like my period had arrived late from the chemical miscarriage. And so it's like I have been pregnant and not pregnant 3 times in the last 3 months. So like not only is there the physical stuff of like getting really tired and the hormones shifting and like everything like changing, but it's like the emotional piece of just being the like, oh, okay, is this happening? And then it's not. And then like processing that. And I think like with all of this, and it's the same like thinking with like our goals, we have some idea of like, okay, this is the thing happening and this is the time frame it's happening in. And like part of it is when we have these setbacks or fails or things don't happen or like life gets in the way and it changes something, it doesn't happen on the timeline that we initially think. And it takes letting go, it takes surrendering that. And so with all of this, I just want to draw out, there's been four things that I've been kind of doing. I mean, I do this anyway, but like definitely over the last 4 months that have been really helping me. And it's the same with any goal setback that you're having, any fails, anything where you're not getting the outcome in the time frame you want, you're not like things don't feel like they're happening how you want them to. Like these things are going to help. I'm going to get out my mind map of the episode. So I think, yeah, the first thing with all of this, with any time you don't reach a goal that you set, you fail, you are set back, the timeline shifts and it doesn't happen in the time frame you want, is to let yourself feel the disappointment, feel the sadness, feel the grief, feel the pain, feel the jealousy of other people who maybe have what you want, feel the longing, feel the loss, because whenever you don't have your goal in the time frame or you don't like something happens, you get a setback, you're essentially, and the disappointment and the grieving, you're essentially grieving like a lost future. This is what I think about, certainly with the miscarriage, but it can be applied with anything, is you have an idea of something in your mind. And again, anything we think about the future, like it's made up. Our brain tells a story, we paint a picture, a vision of what we want to happen. And yes, the more we focus on our vision, and I'll get onto this, the more likely we are to create it. But it's still, we paint this picture. And when it doesn't happen in the way that we want, in the time frame that we want, we are essentially grieving a loss of some future that we thought we'd had, some future outcome, or something we thought we would have in a certain time frame. And so it's so important to just let yourself be, give yourself space, go for walks, journal, process through, cry it out, dance it out, run it out, sleep it out, all of these things to actually make sense and just let your body feel and just process through all the pain. And as I was saying with like the double rainbow, is when you can be present with the pain and not avoid it, not eat it away or like scroll it away or like zone out with like TV shows or Netflix or, and it's not like sometimes you want to do these things to take care of yourself, but when it becomes like the numbing and the avoiding, we're also missing out on like the really positive, joyful, elevated emotions like joy, like awe, like wonder, like presence, like fun and silliness. And actually, like in those days after the miscarriage, and like just even while it was going on, because I was being present with all of the pain, not just the physical pain, but like the emotional pain and the heaviness. I actually found myself being more silly. I found myself being more fun and playful because I created, like, I was able to process through the heavy feelings. And so I created space for these, like, lighter, more elevated feelings to be there. When we're avoiding the heavy stuff, we don't create space. It's like when we're avoiding a feeling and we're not being present with it, we can't really be present. We're in our own heads. We're ruminating on like what we didn't have and like going to the worst case of like, this will never happen for me. This will never happen. And it's not to say like those thoughts are totally normal, but just the more that you can allow yourself to actually feel and be present and be like, oh, okay, this is what it is. And it's almost like just accepting and making peace with this is what it is right now and just giving yourself what you need, those feelings will ease and you'll actually move through them more quickly. And again, then this will create space for the more elevated emotions to come in. And yeah, and so you'll actually like, it almost is like make in those moments, like it really sticks in my mind. Like when I was starting that miscarriage, I felt so alive. I felt so human because the pain I was feeling was the emotional pain was so raw. But because I just like opened my heart and just like was breathing through it and allowing it to come like in waves and it was intense, as was the miscarriage. It was like they were both happening, the emotional and the physical, and just be there with it. It was like there was beauty in the rawness of the experience. And therefore, like I could see beauty in like all around me, like tiny little moments of being like, wow, what an experience, what a trip. being a human, being alive, being able to feel this way. And yeah, I just think it's such, oh, I feel a bit emotional now, but it's not necessarily maybe about like the miscarriage. It's more just like, just feeling so grateful having these tools to be able to do that and be able to take care of myself, to be able to be present and actually turn something that feels so hard and so sad and heavy and actually just be with it and like hold space for it. Like that's what we do. That's what coaching is all about. It's like holding space for however we are in this moment right now, whatever it is, if it's messy, if it's raw. And it's like being able to do that to ourselves and not shame ourselves and not shut ourselves down and not tell ourselves we shouldn't feel this way and not tell ourselves it's not a big deal. 1 in 4 women have miscarriages. It's fine. Most pregnancies end before their whatever weeks. It's like not doing any of that and just being like, this hurts. This is hard and it's okay. And like, this is how I feel right now. And just being present in that. And I think like yeah, it's hard to explain unless you've experienced it, but it's like, and I don't mean miscarriage, but like there is like grief and pain, like when we can be there, just be there with ourselves, give ourselves a hug, like hold our own hand and just like sit with ourselves. Like there is such beauty in that. It's almost of just being like, fuck, like this is what it's like being a human, being on this planet. Like, yes, it's hard. And also, when we can be present with that, we can create the moments and we can see the lightness as well and like the joy as well. And yeah, being able to create space for both and not gaslighting ourselves into like, you should feel better. It's like, no, this fucking sucks and it fucking hurts and it's okay. So yeah, I just feel so grateful. Like, again, having these tools to be able to navigate something that felt so hard. And that's the other thing is like when we can be present with however we're feeling and process it through, that's when we can pull out the wisdom from it. We can pull out like lessons and learning. And like I wouldn't be able to be sharing this podcast now, or even I think I shared a podcast, maybe it was about something similar to this, like just after New Year. Like I wouldn't have been able to do that if I hadn't processed it. If I was avoiding it, I would have been avoiding podcasting, talking about anything. I would have just been like escaping myself. And so when we can process through our feelings, we stop escaping ourselves and we are present with whatever is, and we can pull out all of the learnings and all of the lessons as well, whether or not we share that with anyone. But we have it. It's like we catalyze something that felt so freaking hard into being like, oh, okay, I understand. And like, this is what has helped me. We can like pull wisdom out of it. Whereas when we're ignoring it, it still feels too raw and triggering. And we can't pull out anything from it. We can't pull out the lessons. Okay, so first piece is just be with however you are, process through your feelings. The second piece is refocusing on what you already have. Okay, because often when we are going towards like going for goals, we have this thing that's like in progress, it's happening, we're on our way, and then there's some setback, we don't have it, like not in the time frame, whatever that is. It can be easy to be like, I'm not there yet, I'm not there yet, I'll never get there. We look on like the gap between where we are and where we want to go. If instead you can refocus back to like, this is what I already have, it's so powerful for so many reasons. And it's so interesting, like with all three miscarriages over the past 3 months, whenever the bleeding had started, and I was like, okay, this is like the future has changed. This isn't happening now. I immediately snapped back to like what I already had, how my life was amazing now. I like was playing with Flynn, like just was focusing back on him. And I was almost like, it was almost like the future and what was, I almost like let it go. It's like that is gone now because, and what this does is oftentimes like when we can find ourselves being like, I'm not there, I'm not there, I don't have this thing, we're saying in some way that like what we have right now is not enough and it will only be enough when we get the thing. And I did so much work on this with my first ever pregnancy and miscarriage. Was I was like, oh, I'll never be a mom, I'll not this, I'll not this. And actually it was letting go, or even when I was trying, like before I even had the miscarriage, it was like letting go of my identity is dependent on being pregnant, or my identity is dependent on having a kid. Because when I was so attached to, I almost felt like I wouldn't be complete or enough if I didn't have a kid. And it just feels terrible and awful. And it's almost like we're telling ourselves we're not enough if we don't have this thing. And it's the same, this can happen with any goal, whether it's like a kid or not, whatever your goal is. And it's like we attach our self-worth to the thing. And it's like, I am not complete. I am not enough. I am not worthy. I am not like me unless there's this thing that I have. And when we can let go, and I did so much work on being like, I am enough as I am. I am enough, even if I don't do anything else. If I don't change anything, I am enough as I am. And yes, I would like love to be a mom at some point. And like, I'm so grateful I am. And yes, I would love to be a mom again and have like a second kid at some point. But if that doesn't happen, I know that I am okay right now. I know that I am okay as I am. I know that I love my life so much right now. And like what I have is enough. I am enough. What I do is enough. And anything else is like this amazing bonus. And like if we can think that way about our goals, we become less attached. We become less like, oh, I have to have this thing, I have to have this thing. And it's like we realize just how much we already have in our life right now. And so if there's any setback you're having with your goal, anytime that something's changed and you don't have the thing that you want in the time frame you want, refocus back your attention, like how you are already enough, how what you have in your life like is enough. And just remembering like everything you have in your life right now, at one point you wanted it. Every single thing. You can almost like make a list of like, what are all the things you have in your life right now? And just remembering that like at one point you wanted all these things and you didn't have them and now you do. And just coming back to that, because if we cannot enjoy the life we have right now, if we cannot think that we're enough right now and that what we have enough is enough right now, no goal, no anything that we create will ever be enough, because we'll still be like, yeah, but it'll be enough when I do this thing or I have this thing. And so to fully appreciate what we have, it means telling ourselves we're enough right now. It means telling ourselves that what we have right now is enough. And it's a practice. You just decide, you're like, okay, what I have right now is enough. Like, how could that actually be true? What if you are enough right now? What if you don't need to do anything or change anything and you're enough right now? How could that be true? And the third, oh yeah, the third piece is what I wrote down at the start, the extra notes is, okay, so the first two, so processing the feelings, even the disappointment, the sadness. The second one, focusing on what you already have and how what you have is enough and how you're enough right now. That the goal does not define that you're enough right now. The third piece is like focusing on what you can control, because it's so easy to like when something changes that's outside of your control, it's easy to be like thinking about it a lot and like, oh, this and this, and I could have this, could have this. And it's like, it is what it is. What can you control now? What are the things within your control? Even like grab a piece of paper, write it all down. What are some of the things you can do right now? And just focusing back on like, there's so many things that are outside of our control. And oftentimes we focus our energy here on like, oh, but this, oh, but this, oh, but this, what if this, what if this, what if this? It's like, those things may happen. And then we figure out what to do. Okay. Then we respond. But like, what is in your control right now? Make a list and just keep bringing your attention back there. And the things that are inside of your control include how you were thinking about the situation, how you're thinking about yourself, how you're thinking about your goal, how you are feeling. You can change that and create that. How you are showing up, your behavior, how you're taking care of yourself, how you're being kind to yourself. All of these things are inside of your control. Okay. So the more that we can focus on us and ourselves and what's in our control, the easier it will be for the goal to evolve and to happen. And if it doesn't, we know that we're going to be okay because we can take care of ourselves. And then the fourth one is reconnecting. So there's the like knowing that you're enough as you are and that what you have is enough right now, whether the goal happens or not, and loving the life that you have right now, loving you as you are right now. Okay, that's the piece, and focusing on what you can control. And then the final piece is just keep creating that vision and like imagining the vision with the certainty, with that, like, I know that's going to happen. Like, I know. And I think the reason that, like, this is one of the things, well, first of all, processing the disappointment, focusing on, like, I love my life so much right now. Anything's a bonus. And then focusing on what I can control. But the final piece is like, I know in my bones, like, I feel it. I'm like, I know we're going to have two kids. Like, I know it. And I feel that. And so, yes, it's not going to happen on the time frame I thought it would in December, where I was like, oh, in September, like, whatever, there's going to be this little one running around. And then, like, okay, maybe it's like October and like November. Like, I know that that's not happening, but I know that it's going to happen. And so, that has also helped me get into the like, oh, it has to happen now. It has to happen now. It's like, I know it's gonna happen. It's not gonna happen in the time frame I thought. And that's okay. And it's like imagining again with your goal, like, what if in 5 years you knew you had the goal, your goal was there, it was done, you already have it. You'd stop stressing so much about the timeline. It'd be like a few months here, 6 months there, even a year. It actually doesn't matter if you keep going, keep focusing on that vision. If it's something that you know that you want, that you know you're called to create in your life, keep focusing that vision. And like, literally the time frame doesn't matter. And sometimes it happens in the time frame we want, sometimes it doesn't. And sometimes usually we'll look back and be like, the time frame was actually perfect, because you just get to decide that whatever the time frame is, it was perfect. Because any of the setbacks, like, you will learn something along the way. You will learn how to take care of yourself. You will learn how to respond. You will learn about your mind. You will learn about how much you really want to go after this thing, that you're going to keep going, that you'll learn how more resilient you are. You'll learn something. And so knowing that any setback is an opportunity to learn about yourself, take care of yourself, to show up as the person that you want to be, and not just be like, oh, well, that's it. I'm not going to do, like, we're done. And sometimes, like, I remember when we were first trying and like it wasn't happening. And like every month, when my period would come and I was like, I'm still not pregnant. And I was like, I just don't know if I can go through the disappointment again of another month and not happening. But what I wasn't doing then was processing through the disappointment. And what I wasn't doing was connecting to that vision and thinking my life was enough right now. That was when I was still doing all the work around it. Whereas now, yes, it's been freaking hard having 3 times in the last 3 months a positive pregnancy test and then it not happening and not turning out. But I know that I'm going to be okay because I have these tools, because I've done this work, and I also know that it's going to happen. And so the final piece, just like keep focusing on that vision, keep imagining it, that it is done, releasing the timeline, just letting that go and just being like, I know it's going to be done and at some point in the future. Take care of yourself and keep showing up, keep showing up. So I'll go over the 4 again. So first one, be present however you are, process through the disappointment, the grief, everything. The second one is just snapping back, refocusing what you already have. It is enough. Who you are enough, with or without the goal. It doesn't matter. The goal is a bonus. Your life, like, start loving and appreciating your life right now. And that helps release the attachment to the goal. For third piece, like focusing on what you can control, like how can you take care of you? How can you be showing up? That is going to just help make it so much easier and help make it easier to like get back on track with the goal. And then the fourth piece is just remind yourself of that vision, keep painting that vision, keep imagining it, keep becoming that future version of you. And that's going to help you just like be like release and be like, okay, this is happening. Yes, on a different timeline than I thought, and that's okay. And just, what is that next step? Keep imagining, keep showing up as yourself. So if you got this far, thank you for listening. And I hope that was helpful. And if you are going through anything similar with your goals or with miscarriage as well, like, I just want to say I'm sending you so much love. And it's hard being a human, but it's also beautiful. And like, when we can just be present, that like in these moments that it feels hard, like that is when we learn so much about ourselves and like can, yeah, just life can feel a bit more like vibrant and richer because of the contrast of the like easy and the hard and the like joy and the pain. And it's just like when we can just open and be present with all of that, like it truly is such a gift. It's so beautiful. Okay. Oh, and also, final piece. Hang on, let me have another breath. So, well, if you are listening to this, I've decided to publish it and put it out into the world. So we will see. And also, like, I just want to say with all of this, like, I am okay. And so don't feel you need to reach out or like check on me. If you want to, that's fine. But like, I am okay. Like, I'm emotionally resilient. I have these tools. Like, I've been through this stuff. And also, if you want to chat about anything like that's fine too. But also, I know this is like not linked to miscarriage, but if you are interested in creating bigger, scarier goals, and like a key part of this is the emotional resilience, is feeling all of the feelings, being present with them. If you want to do that work, I have 2 private coaching spots that are becoming available. And if you are feeling called to have these tools to apply it to your goals, to like dream so big and then feel all the feelings that come up, all the embarrassment and the failure and like all the setbacks, and learn the tools to be able to keep going, to show up in this bigger way, to put yourself out there, even when things aren't going to plan. I encourage the links in the show notes, but like if you're feeling called to do this work, I've got 2 spots becoming available. So if you're feeling called to do it and your intuition's like, oh, that'd be so good, even if it feels a bit scary, I encourage you to just like have a look, book a call if you're feeling called to do it. And just what if you just trust yourself? Like imagining in 6 months from now, having these tools changing every like aspect of your life changes when you are able to be present with however you're feeling and you don't feel scared. You're not avoiding it. You're not procrastinating. You're actually being present with it. Like that's when the magic happens. Anyway, so if you're feeling called to do this work, come do it over 6 months. So good. Honestly, you're going to love it. If you love this podcast and you're like, oh, this is so good, and you want to like apply it in a deeper way and understand it specifically for your brain and like just understand yourself in a deeper way, have that self-awareness. And I think one of the most amazing things about coaching is like you get to decide that you want something or you want to do something or you want to have something or you want to be a certain way. And then you know how to actually do that. Like that's the repeatable gift that you have for the rest of your life. It's like I know now I can be like, I'm going to go after this thing, or I'm going to make this happen, or I'm going to control this, or I'm going to do that. And it's like, I know that I will create it. Maybe not in the time frame, but I know that I will do it because I have these tools. Even when I want to procrastinate and avoid like this podcast, I avoided it for the morning. I know I have the tools, like processing through feelings, which is what I did, to be able to show up and do it and put yourself out there and do scary things and build the life that you actually want and stop putting off the bigger stuff, actually focus, like get the stuff done that lights you up. Just create a life that is bigger and richer and more vibrant. Like part of that is feeling and being present with feelings. And we're not taught this often. We're told like, stop feeling, you shouldn't be feeling that way. And like this work literally completely changed my life. Even just that one tool alone, but like there's so many aspects of like understanding your brain, understanding why you're doing certain things, why you're not doing certain things. Like that is the power of coaching, is like, yeah, being able to actually do what you want to do, actually do what you say you're going to do, and not just avoid it and not just keep going or busy yourself or not do the things that you know ultimately you want to do. Like that is the power of coaching. So anyway, if you're feeling called to do it, 2 spots are becoming available. Book a call. I've got some calls for like a free consultation. We'll chat through like what you want support with, and I'll lay out like if we're a good fit and what we'd work on together. I've got some spots available on Tuesday and Thursday next week. Now's the time, and come and do this work. It's gonna be so fun. Okay. Sending you so much love, and I hope you have an amazing rest of today and an amazing rest of the week, and I'll see you next time. Hey, thanks so much for listening. If this was helpful, please hit subscribe and leave a review. This helps get this work in the hands of more purposeful people. That is, more people creating bigger, scarier goals, making an even bigger impact in the world. And if you want to take this work deeper and work with me directly, head to the show notes and I've got all of the information there. If you've got any questions or if there's anything you're like, ooh, I'd love you to talk about that on the pod, please just get in touch. I love hearing from you guys. And I'll see you next time in the Scary Goals Club.